The highly anticipated matchup between Stephen Fulton and Naoya Inoue is almost upon us. But before we get more into that, we want to give a little more about these fighters and how they have gotten here so far. But before we get more into that, welcome back to All It Takes No Whiffs. I'm Alex, and that's Christian. And for this video, we'll be going more into Stephen Fulton and how it has led up to this fight versus Naoya Inoue.
Yeah, of course, we got to drop some background on these fighters when there's a super fight like this coming up. One of the most underrated fights in boxing, in my opinion. And Stephen Fulton, honestly, the pound for pound rankings, they do him justice, but one of the most underrated fighters in boxing, in my opinion, as well. And honestly, at the same time, he's still got a lot to prove. Him having this fight against Inoue, that's going to be a huge stepping stone for him. But kind of leading up to this point for him, though, he's 21-0 in the pros, and he's got 8 KOs. Got a bit of an amateur background of 75-15. That's 90 total fights. That's a lot of fights, even though I'm pretty sure all amateur fights are 3 rounds, right?
I think so.
Yeah. But still, that's a lot of experience right there. And obviously in his pro debut, second round TKO against Isaac Badger. Yeah. Wonder where he's at this point. But as far as the first notable name on his resume, I would say that's in 2017 with Adam Lopez taking his first loss against Fulton. And that was an exciting fight for sure.
Oh, yeah, honestly, that was a hell of a fight. Adam Lopez, just like in every single other fight, he brought it to Stephen Fulton for this. It was him coming forward for this, and Adam Lopez is just one of those guys. At this point, he was 8-0 in his career, and he took his first loss, but he's just been one of those guys who just can't beat those top-level guys. Or he's a pretty good fighter himself, but he just can't get over the hump of these top-level guys, and Stephen Fulton was the first one for him, so it was a really good fight, honestly. I really liked what I saw from Stephen Fulton, but he had another unanimous decision in 2019 against Paulus Mbunda. Don't know if I said that right, but it was for the IBO World Super Bantamweight title. That technically wasn't his first world title. That came against Angelo Leo in 2021 when he got the Super Bantamweight or the WBO Super Bantamweight title. So that was actually his first world title, and that fight was honestly really epic, even though the scores are kind of all over the place. This was kind of where I really noticed that Fulton's counterpunching was really, really good.
Yeah, and honestly, as far as Fulton's counterpunching, I think that's one of his strongest aspects of his game. But I think he really executed his counterpunching well against Brandon Figueroa, to be honest, because that was a razor close fight. Figueroa threw an insane amount of punches, but then, in my opinion, Fulton's clean boxing and counterpunching is what won him that fight. And I would say Figueroa is kind of the fight that put his name on the map for just like
Oh, for sure.
boxing fans, for sure, because there was people who knew him for sure, but Figueroa being a young, talented guy as well, like that was just a huge fight for both of them.
Oh, yeah, this was honestly another epic fight, and like Christian said, it definitely put Fulton's name out there more, and Figueroa almost stopped him there in the 10th round in this fight. He had Fulton, I wouldn't really say wobbly, but he had him where the ref could have come in there, and he was just bombarding him and stopped it, but really, really good fight there, and the Daniel Roman fight.
Yeah.
Not very I don't even really know what to say about this one. It was just pretty much a clean sweep. But
Should have been.
it should have been, honestly, in my eyes, but this was honestly just a dominant performance by Stephen Fulton in this one.
Yeah. Honestly, Roman didn't look like he belonged in the same stratosphere as Fulton. And honestly, to give Fulton credit, Roman was pretty highly rated before this fight. So I think that's kind of a factor as to why he's officially like I think 7th on the pound for pound list. I think that's a good reason too, because Roman was in talks with other big guys around those weight classes. But as far as what's next for Fulton, obviously this is a bigger test than anybody could ask for.
His
And
biggest test.
yeah, Naoya Inoue, in Alex's
The
opinion,
monster.
number 1 pound for pound in the world. In my opinion, the number 2 pound for pound boxer in the world. So yeah, can't get much bigger for a test for Fulton, to be honest. And as far as his keys for winning, Fulton needs to fight a perfect fight, in my opinion. And the reason that doesn't sound too out of pocket, in my opinion, is I think Fulton is one of the few guys that is capable of doing that.
And I would just add one thing to that. I would think Inoue kind of needs to have an off night too, because that's just how good he is too.
Yeah, without a doubt, it's the power.
He has not
It,
seen power
Fulton,
like this, not even close.
no, 'cause Figueroa threw punches and punches, but his power, like, it just doesn't compare. But with Fulton, I really think he needs to fight a perfect fight. And the reason I say I think he's the one that's capable of doing it is because of how good he is. In my opinion, this is his best trait, actually, how good he is at adjusting in the ring. And that's something that we see people praise Floyd Mayweather for. And honestly, it's not brought up too much when we're talking about boxers, I feel like. So that's a key thing that Fulton has that honestly could make the difference for him in this fight. But at the same time, like you said, tall task.
Oh, yeah, and that could be why this fight starts out a little slower for Fulton too, because he's just trying to figure him out. So, I mean, I don't want to get too much into it. You can check out our preview later on this week or whenever we drop it. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. And also make sure you hit that like button too if you enjoyed this video.
Oh, without a doubt. Stephen Fulton, best of luck to him because huge test for him, but huge opportunity right here for him too. This could definitely be a career defining moment. And honestly, this is one of those fights that even down the line is probably going to be viewed as his biggest fight of his career. So best of luck to him, of course, and looking forward to that at 6 a.m. next Tuesday on July 25th. So yeah, looking forward to that. Until then, though, peace.
Peace.